The power of the subconscious mind. I will start with stage hypnotists. Most of you have had an opportunity to see one perform. Essentially, all they do is plant a suggestion in the subconscious mind of the subject. But the results, to our conscious minds, seem extraordinary. I witnessed a hypnotist tell a man that he just returned from another planet, and he asked the subject to describe his visit to this planet. The subject demonstrated a vivid imagination by describing the planet in detail. This person in a normal mental state would probably avow he has a poor imagination. Maybe his conscious mind has poor imagination, but his subconscious mind has a vivid one. Moreover, in a normal mental state he would, likely, not be able to vividly and spontaneously describe something in such detail from his imagination in front of a large audience. Hypnotic subjects can exhibit extraordinary strength. I have a picture from a national newspaper that appeared many years ago of Johnny Carson suspended between two chairs. Kreskin, the well-known mentalist he refuses to be called a hypnotist, planted the suggestion in Carson's subconscious mind that he was super strong and that he could keep his body rigid. He had Carson place his head on one chair and the soles of his feet on another. Carson remained rigid even when someone sat on his stomach. If it was not for the fact that his subconscious mind accepted the suggestion, Carson could not have performed this feat. Do not do this. You could strain a muscle. A suggestion planted in the subject's subconscious mind can change his personality and make him or her do things they would not do under normal circumstances. I witnessed stage hypnotists make an ordinary woman strut around the stage acting as if she had just won the Miss America contest, a man pursue a broomstick acting as if it were a gorgeous movie star, and a man attack he had to be held back a larger man, who he knew was a muscled college wrestler, because the wrestler kicked an imaginary dog. Hypnotized subjects can be made amnesiac. A woman volunteered on a PBS TV program was hypnotized and she told to forget the number 7. Later, when out of the hypnotic state, they took her to a stage set up like a game show. The host told her she would win $1 million for answering this simple question, what is 4 plus 3? She could not come up with the correct answer. They gave her 2 more chances with 2 more simple questions in which the answer was 7. Each time she could not recall the number 7. They then asked her to count the fingers on her hands. She counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. She could not say the number 7. She was also confused about having 11 fingers. Some doctors, dentists, and therapists use hypnosis for medical purposes. I recently read, for example, that hypnosis is being used on severe burn patients. Other examples include control of chronic pain, anesthesia, birthing, and eliminating phobias. On the same PBS TV show mentioned above, a hypnotherapist cured a woman of a lifelong fear of snakes in just a few minutes. She fearlessly held a boa constrictor and let it wrap around her shoulders. The hypnotherapist also cured a man with a lifelong fear of spiders. The man let a tarantula crawl on his shoulders. Dr. James E. S. Dial, the Scottish surgeon, practicing in the 1800s, used hypnotism in operations before anesthesia was available. His rate of success was 10 times above that of his colleagues. The hypnotized patients felt less pain and anxiety, which allowed their immune systems to repress infections. Dr. E. S. Dial also planted suggestions in their subconscious minds to expedite healing. The mortality rate for operations in the mid-1800s was 50%. In 161 operations performed by Dr. E. S. Dial using hypnosis, the mortality rate was 5%. The young man I knew was embarrassed about the thick glasses he wore. He read books by Margaret Darst Corbett, who wrote about the theory of ophthalmologist, Dr. William H. Bates. Dr. Bates believed that poor eyesight was epidemic in our society due to stress caused by our hectic culture. This stress tensed the eye muscles, which distorted the eyeball. The distorted eyeball shifted the focal point and blurred vision. Dr. Bates cited examples of Aboriginal cultures, which were free of the stresses of modern societies, where the people seldom had poor eyesight, even at old age. Dr. Bates's cure was eye exercises designed to relax the muscles in the eye sockets so the eyeballs could return to their original shapes, making the use of glasses unnecessary. Eliminating eyeglasses was not popular with opticians, oculists, and ophthalmologists. It was not popular with anybody else either because the exercises were tedious. required dedication, and results were uncertain. The young man used his subconscious mind, the method discussed in Lesson A, to relax his eye muscles. Within weeks he could read without glasses. Phantom pregnancies, pseudocyesis, occur in some women due to psychological reasons. When a woman has a phantom pregnancy, her subconscious mind causes cessation of menstruation, breast enlargement, desire for strange foods, progressive abdominal enlargement, and labor pains. Impressive examples of the power of subconscious mind have been reported in medical journals in cases of patients with multiple personality disorder. Multiple personality disorder occurs when, due to severe psychological trauma, a person develops more than one personality to cope. Cases have been reported in which one personality has asthma while another personality in the same body does not have asthma. Incidentally, cases of patients in which the one case was reported by Carl Jung found that the asthma was due to a traumatic experience associated with breathing. Thus, the subconscious mind is capable of creating asthma. So one would assume it is also capable of eliminating it. Has a high IQ, while another has a low IQ. This is not so impressive because it is easy for the subconscious mind to make anyone act dumb. Is drunk, but when the person changes personalities, is sober. This is impressive because the subconscious mind, it seems to me, has to alter the chemistry in the brain. Is right-handed, the other is left-handed. Has different colored eyes from the other personality. I knew a man who changed the color of his eyes from brown to blue. It took him weeks to do it. But the person with multiple personality disorder does it in minutes. Has scars, cysts, or tumors, while the other does not. This is plausible because there are records of hypnotists who have caused blisters to form on subjects and then make them disappear just as fast. The hypnotists touch the subjects with an ordinary object, such as a pencil, suggesting to them that it is a red-hot poker, and blisters form. Then the hypnotist suggests the subject's skin is normal and the blisters disappear. He has an immediate healing. A multiple personality disorder patient who was allergic to wasp bites was stung near the eye. The eye area swelled so much that he was rushed to a hospital. Before arriving at the hospital, he changed personalities and the swelling disappeared. This following experiment demonstrates the effect our attitudes and beliefs can have on our bodies and health. In 1985, a Harvard professor, Ellen Langer, conducted an experiment that showed people could become younger. The professor recruited 100 people over 70 years old in the Boston area. She sent them on a 10-day vacation to a resort where she arranged the decor to resemble that of the 1950s, the time when the subjects were decades younger. She played 50s music, displayed 50s magazines and newspapers, and had the subjects dress as they did in the 50s. The professor also instructed the 100 people to act as if they were back in the 1950s. Physical and psychological tests were performed on the 100 subjects before and after the 10 days. In every category, the subjects tested younger. What changed? What took years off their apparent age? The only cause was a change in their thinking. Their subconscious minds accepted the concept of being younger. Your conscious mind sets limits for you. When you rid yourself of these limits, and let your subconscious mind take over, you can do things you thought impossible. 50 years ago, experts wrote papers explaining why the human body could not run a mile in less than 4 minutes. Everyone, except Roger Bannister, thought that running a mile in less than 4 minutes was impossible. When Bannister broke the 4-minute barrier in 1954, other runners duplicated the feat within months. What changed in these other runners? They did not magically become better conditioned or alter their running style. They changed their belief. They now knew a 4-minute mile was possible, and if Roger could do it, they could do it. Vasily Alekhine, a world-class Russian weightlifter, could not lift 500 pounds though he routinely lifted 495 pounds. In 1974, his coach played the trick on him to prove a point. He put 500 pounds on the bar and told Vasily the bar had 495 pounds on it. Thinking it was only 495 pounds, Vasily lifted the bar as usual. After Vasily was told him he had lifted 500 pounds, he changed his belief and was able to do it in competition. A trained athlete lifting 500 pounds is not as impressive as a mother in panic lifting a car that has fallen on her son. How can she do it? Because in panic her conscious mind is put aside and does not tell her it is impossible. She has an adrenaline rush and just does it. I have only heard of such stories second-hand, but a similar story appeared in the Phoenix Gazette. An incident was reported about a mechanic who lifted a car off to friends after it slipped off the tow bar. He also helped them out from under the car while holding it on his knees. These are but a few examples that demonstrate the power in the subconscious mind, and this power is available in your subconscious mind.